This is Shellie from The Fabulous Journey. And today I wanted to come on and talk a little bit about changing your makeup routine in your 50s. I have a few things I've learned along the way, some tips and some tricks, and I just want to share them with you and so we can share this journey together. So let's get started. Okay, so admittedly, in my 53rd year now, I'm finding that it's necessary to make some tweaks and some changes to my makeup routine. Now, this has come as quite a surprise to me, I must admit, because I've been wearing makeup pretty much every day, or every day that I go out and leave my house. I've been wearing makeup since I was 16 years old. Makeup has just been part of my life. I grew up in an area of the country in the South where wearing makeup was pretty much a rite of passage, and I've been doing it. And really, it's become such a normal part of my routine and my life that it's really not been something I've given much thought to over recent years. However, in the last year, I would say, I've noticed that it's been necessary to make some changes and some tweaks to my routine in order to bring out the best in my face, to keep from looking too harsh or hard with some of my makeup choices. And I just want to share some of those with you. The first thing I've discovered is that eyeliner and my eyeliner techniques for wearing eyeliner have had to change a little bit with the changing landscape of my face. First, let's talk about eyeliner. I have found that some of the eyeliner techniques that I've used in the past are just a little too harsh for this season of my life. And now I've been cycling through different ideas and different techniques to try to find something that does define my eyes and does give my eyes some color and some definition, but at the same time, don't make them look harsh and too harsh and strong for the really delicate area that has become my under eye. It's quite delicate. So I have come across finally what seems to be working for me, and that is really a combination of several different things at the same time. First of all, I used to, when I was younger, wear a liquid liner, and I would wear the nice thick line across the top, and I liked that. Of course, I have really dark hair. I'm working now with a much lighter palette, and that's probably one of the reasons that I've had to make a change, is that my hair is lighter. And so, but with the dark hair, the black hair that I had my whole life, I'd have the dark eye, and that worked well. But now I've made a shift, and what I am doing now is I use a liquid liner. In this case, I have a Clinique, and it has a really, really thin tip. And what I like to do is I go along the very top of my lash, very, very close to the lashes, with as thin of a line as I can make. I want to give a little definition to the eye without a strong, dark liner. And I've really been tweaking this. First, I tried a thin line across the top, and that worked, but I still felt it was a little dark. And now I'm doing what basically I almost am in the lashes, just as close as I can get. And I line the top of my lid with this. And then I come back afterwards with a nice espresso brown. And this is an Urban Decay espresso brown. I like this color. It's a step off from black, a good step off, and I really think that's very effective with still giving nice color and definition without having the black. And then on my under eye, I go even a step lower, or maybe this is almost 2 steps lower, and this is like a lighter brown with still ash tones, and this I think is a Clinique. And I do my under eye, and I always do only the outer half of my eye. I never go all the way in, always start from the outer half. And that's really helped to have a much softer look to my eyeliner. But then I found what really is the thing that brings it all together, if you still want to have good definition of your eyes, is to take, and here in this case I've taken, it is a black pencil. This is also, I believe it's Urban Decay. And what I do there is I just take it and I just make a dot just slightly at the very outer corner of my eye, just in maybe a little bit of a touch on the top and the bottom. And then I often take the blender and just blend that in so that I have a nice definition at the outer parts of my eye. Now, if you look at that, you'll also see that what that does, by adding that thin line on the top and the outer, it really also bulks up my eyelashes. And I found that that also helps, because I know I'm not alone in discovering that the eyelashes are a little thinner these days than they used to be. Have you found that? I bet you have. So that's one thing I've noticed and I've started doing. The second is I've discovered that, especially because I often have glasses on. I don't have them on now because, of course, you can see the ring of my light, and it's a little distracting in the video. But I often wear reading glasses. They're typically on my head, so I can pull them down at any moment. And I have some distance glasses that are a light magnification that I wear in dark settings or times when I think it's hard to see, or at night when I'm driving. But what I've noticed is when you wear glasses, and those of you who wear glasses and have worn them for a long time, I'm sure you could tell me, yes, I've known that for a long time, but this is relatively new for me, is I've discovered that when I have glasses on, it really magnifies my eye area. Naturally, they magnify. But then, if this area is not well hydrated, what happens is it magnifies lines, and you see just crevices and craters here of makeup when those glasses are on and they're magnifying. So I really wanted to address this, and what I've discovered is after I have fixed my makeup and after I have put everything on, I use a tap of jojoba oil. And I go in with a tap of jojoba and I put it on just on my pinkies and just tap it under my eyes and just around the outer area. Why I like jojoba is because it's an oil that's easily absorbed into our skin. The makeup, the elemental makeup of jojoba is very close to the oils that are already found in our skin, and so this helps to keep it from being greasy or sitting on top. It just sort of soaks in and you can feel a moistness there. Now I should take a step back there and say something a little bit more about this area before the jojoba, and that is that I have started to use a color corrector. So this color corrector is actually something that I found at Target, and the brand is called LA Girl. And it really caught my attention. Actually, this is quite recent. I was in Target and I was looking for something else, and I had heard and I've been reading some about color correction. And I saw this and it had all the different correctors, and there's different color correctors depending on what color shows through. In my case, I have a lot of purple that shows through, and so what I ended up getting for color correction for purple is more of a peach orange color. And I tap that on in this area before I put any concealer on or any foundation, and I found that it does a great job of really concealing and allowing those colors to recede instead of shining through up underneath your foundation or your concealer. So this one is a game changer, girls. I highly recommend you look into color correction. And there's different color correctors depending on which colors are shining through. If there's green shining through or blue veins, or whether you have more purple, which is in my case, I have more purple. So that is really what I've been doing and some changes I've made to my under eye area. And the last thing I want to talk about is powder. There's a debate about powder, and I know a lot of us girls who've been around for a while, we're strongly tied to our powder. I know a lot of friends, a lot of women who talk about powder, and they really just are strong proponents of powder. And I do agree that it is nice to set your look with powder, but I found the best place to set it, rather than just going all over my face is I like to go down the center column of my face with powder. So I'll use powder there, but the real game changer here, and what I want to encourage you, and what I've discovered, is to finish your makeup off with a makeup setter. This one's called All Nighter from Urban Decay. And I've discovered and learned from other makeup influencers that the setting doesn't just keep the makeup from fading during the day, but what a setting spray actually does is it causes the makeup to melt slightly upon application. And that's what's going to give your face a much more natural look. You're going to have much more natural, it's going to look more like your skin rather than makeup put on top of your skin. So I usually use an egg blender like this one, spray a little bit of the spray on top, and then I just pat it around my face. Just making sure to pat in, and that really helps the makeup to mold in. That's where you get a little bit more of a glowy look, more of a natural look. You have makeup on, but it doesn't look quite so much like you have makeup on. And I find that that is much more youthful and much more attractive. And I've really appreciated that. So that's some of the tricks I've learned, some of the tips I've discovered as I continue to walk this journey that we call life. And I hope that some of those work for you. I'd love to hear what you've found. What's working for you? What do you like to put on your face? What changes are you finding? What works for you? What are you finding that doesn't work? Feel free to leave a comment. And until next time, make good choices. Because today's choices, they do fashion tomorrow's reality. So make them great ones. Until next time, bye-bye.